We're here back at the Fantasy Bar. 6 picks for you for Yahoo for week 7, including some of my favorite correlations and value plays. A running back I think is going to have minimal ownership, what games I'm stacking up, and of course, my favorite play of the week. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Week 7 edition Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Talking some Yahoo today with 6 picks fresh off the tap for you. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out the video. Now, before we get into the plays, as always, make sure you click that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button as well. Get notified when these videos are coming out. Also, do a weekly FanDuel and DraftKings video for 6 more plays. You can find that link right here, right embedded in the video. Go check that one out after you are done watching this one. And go click the link in the description to claim an offer for $25 free to use in your Yahoo contest this week. Right below the video, you'll see that. You'll also see a link to scoresandodds.com/beer for all of your sports betting needs, whether you're new, whether you're a veteran, can get more information, more tools to utilize. Why not go check it out today? Scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, let's talk some Yahoo. Let's get into the plays here for week 7. We're going to start at the running back position with James Conner, $23. Now, at first, it seems crazy to pay this number for James Conner. And on initial look, that's what I thought. And you compare him to Chase Edmonds. Edmonds the much better value here. But sometimes you pay up to be contrarian. Let's think about this game here this week against Houston. 17-point home favorites here are the Arizona Cardinals. 32.5 team projected total. So Chase Edmonds' role mostly in the passing game. James Conner handles a lot of the goal line work, a lot of the salting the clock away. Well, do we think Houston is really going to compete in this game? I do not. I think the Cardinals are going to control this one from start to finish. It's going to provide plenty of scoring opportunities here for James Conner. So yes, Edmonds is cheaper. And yes, there's some cheaper guys that make a lot more sense here, but I think Conner can have a massive game here. And at this price, I don't think anybody is going to play him. Now we add in the matchup here. Houston, second most rushing yards allowed, third most rushing touchdowns allowed, and bottom 10 in fantasy points allowed as well. So put it all together here. I'll be playing me some James Conner here as a massive home favorite against the Houston Texans. All right, let's save you some money. At our next spot, we're going to go to wide receiver with Devontae Smith of the Eagles. So really expecting Smith to bounce back here. Season low 4 targets last week, guys. He's been getting many more than that throughout the course of the season, so that was a little bit of a surprise here, but we are getting a nice discount on this price, all the way down to $14 here on Yahoo. So you guys know, if you've been around a while, I love these buy lows here. So let's buy low on Devontae Smith here. This total sitting at almost 50. We got a very close spread here as well as of this recording, -3 for the Raiders. So I think this one's going to go back and forth here. Love the spot for Jalen Hurts this week, but Devontae Smith too cheap. Take advantage here on Yahoo at just $14. All right, we like that game. Let's go to the other side with tight end Darren Waller, $21. Now, similar to Smith, another guy in this game that we're getting at his lowest possible price point here on Yahoo for the season, all the way down to $21 for Darren Waller. I think a lot of people are going to look at the last few weeks and say, this guy's been a disappointment. He let me down. When you look at those matchups, both Chicago and Denver, top 5 this season in fantasy points allowed to the tight end position. They've been very stingy against tight ends. Now things are going to open up a little bit with this matchup against Philadelphia. Third most receiving yards allowed to tight ends, and no team has allowed more touchdowns to the tight end position than the Philadelphia Eagles. Have already given up 5 touchdowns, and I think Darren Waller adds to that number here this week. Get him in those lineups at just $21. All right, back to the running back position. We'll keep it under $20 here with Darrell Williams, $18. So we had Darrell Williams last week in our FanDuel DraftKings video. Definitely did well for us. Going to go right back to the well here on Yahoo this week at just $18. 24 touches for Williams. Went over 22 Yahoo points with those touches. I don't think personally there's a massive drop-off from CEH to Darrell Williams. He's in a potent offense here in a very good matchup. We know this total, one of the highest that you're going to see in the NFL at 57.5. Kind of like we talked about with James Conner. There's going to be a ton of scoring opportunities here for Darrell Williams. Tennessee has already been pounded for 5 rushing touchdowns by running backs. Darrell Williams, too cheap. Get him in those lineups this week against the Tennessee Titans. All right, let's go to the other side of that game. We clearly want to correlate. How do we get different? Let's start with wide receiver A.J. Brown, $24. So I think this is definitely a way to get different here. A lot of people are going to go to Derrick Henry, and I'm not faulting you for that. The guy has been a monster. It's a good matchup, no doubt. But I think A.J. Brown, some people are going to hesitate a little bit here. If they're riding Henry, do they want all these pieces of the game? I don't think so. So yes, he'll have some ownership, but I don't think it's as high as it should be here. Season high last week in targets, receptions, Yahoo points last week against a tough Buffalo defense. Kansas City been vulnerable here as well. 7 touchdowns allowed so far through the first 6 weeks. 2 wide receiver. A.J. Brown going to have that massive breakout game sooner than later. I think it comes this week against Kansas City. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for week 7 on Yahoo. But before we do that, we want to continue our Beast of the Week contest. Free to play. This is a thank you to you guys for checking out the video, hitting that thumbs up button. All you got to do is guess fantasy points on Yahoo for my favorite play of the week. The closest guess is going to win themselves a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. We'll mail it right to your doorstep. So stay tuned. My favorite play coming up right now. You know him as the Beast of the Week. All right, Beast time. We still owe you a quarterback. We're going to continue in that Tennessee-Kansas City game with quarterback Ryan Tannehill, this week's Beast of the Week. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with playing Derrick Henry. There's nothing wrong with the passing game on the other side. Just trying to get a little creative here in this one with this massive total. And again, I think Tannehill with A.J. Brown will be a little bit different than what most people are going to roll out in this game. So again, we know Kansas City going to score some points here, projected for 31.5 points. Tennessee may be forced to the air more than they want to. We know they want to run Henry. We know they'll continue to do it even when playing from behind, but maybe they dig even a bigger hole. Maybe it's just a shootout back and forth. We've certainly seen Ryan Tannehill have massive ceiling games here. This is the guy I don't think will have much ownership at all. If A.J. Brown gets some, maybe people drag Tannehill with them, but I'm expecting a ceiling output here from Ryan Tannehill. The matchup checks the boxes as well. Second most fantasy points allowed. Do the Chiefs give up? Second most rushing touchdowns allowed. We know Tannehill, a lot of upside in that department, and the most rushing yards allowed to quarterbacks. So if he can tack on 20, 30, 40 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown, along with what he does in the air, I think we get the highest output we've gotten all season long out of Ryan Tannehill, making him my favorite play here on Yahoo and this week's Beast of the Week. All right, guys, that wraps up for week 7 on Yahoo. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, fantasy points for Ryan Tannehill for your shot at a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Don't forget to claim that offer for $25 free to use in your Yahoo contest. And make sure you guys go and check out scoresandodds.com/beer for a ton of sports betting, gambling information. Go and check it out today. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut. Best of luck on Yahoo this week, guys. We'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist